These are 5 tools I regret not getting from my shop years ago. Let's go. I waited far too long to try some of these tools and I really wish I hadn't. So don't make the same mistake I did. You should check these out sooner rather than later. If you'd like to check out any of these tools, I'll link them in the description and the pinned comment to help you find them easier, and that shop button here on YouTube if available. First on the list are these, and no, they're not Transformer bionic hands. They're actually a drill dock, and they're a universal drill dock, which is really what makes them kind of special. I actually saw these on some Facebook page and then went to Amazon and ordered them, and for the price, I think they're really nice. Check it out. So you can mount this to basically anything. So if you have like shelving in your shop, especially like 3/4 inch plywood, this actually clips right on. And the clips actually have a little bit of a rubber grip on there, so when they go onto the plywood or other shelving, they actually stick. So when you take the drill out, they don't pull off of there. You can also put these on buckets, so if you have tool buckets that you're carrying around and different things like that. Their actual product photos show them also clipped to the edge of man baskets and things like that. So there's a variety of ways you can attach these. The one cool thing I liked about these and why I bought these, and yes, I bought them myself, was because you could literally just put any drill you wanted in there. I put everything from the Milwaukee M12, Ryobi, Rigid, even the giant DeWALT XR drill or a DeWALT atomic drill. They all fit in there without any issues. And there are other tools that'll fit in there too, like the Ryobi jigsaw. It does have a little magnet on the side. I do wish that magnet was a little bit stronger, but it is strong enough to hold a couple of bits. You could also screw this into a shelf or anything like that. There's 2 screws provided, and this little piece slides off, this little piece on the side with the arrow. And then the clip on the top will actually slide off as well. If you wanted to detach it, you could do that as also. The only thing I really don't see a need for myself is there's a drill bit guide there on the top where you could, I guess, see what drill bit size you have. Not sure that I would use that, but it's there if you need it. One thing that makes this universal is the trigger guard on the bottom slides so that it'll fit basically any drill that you've got. I've tried several here and I didn't find one that didn't fit. These come in red and green and they're made in the USA, so you can support a small USA business, and they're pretty well priced at only $35 a piece at the time of this filming. Next on the list, the Bora Speedhorse XT. These things are pretty impressive. Bora sent these over for me to check out, and I am very glad they did. This is one of those tools that I've seen around a bunch, but I've never had the opportunity to put my hands on them. Now, I've had other style of temporary workbenches and sawhorses and things like that, but these are different. First and foremost, they fold out extremely fast. I'm sure you've seen the videos of them folding out. There's literally one switch right under the handle. Both the legs are going to come out, and then you're ready to go. You can just use this as standard sawhorses. A couple of things I noticed straight out of the box was it has a nice grippy, almost a sandpaper feel right here on the top. So if you do use these as sawhorses or work surface, it's going to grip the wood or whatever you're putting on there. So I like to see that. It also has notches on each end that will accept a 2x4. And what you could do with that, with 2 of these, because typically these come in 2 packs, you can set up your own temporary workbench. And I think this is where it'll level things up for a small shop, because you're able to take these in and out of the shop, especially if you're having to set up in the driveway or the backyard or on the patio or something like that to do your work. Or if you're just working on job sites, you could take these, have a workbench set up in no time. Here's a few genius features that they really thought through. First, when you drop these 2x4s into these slots, there's screw holes on the outside. You can screw these in place so they don't move. The other genius feature is if you put a 2x4 across the top of your sawhorse here, so you don't cut your sawhorse, it's actually the exact same level as these 2x4s that you dropped into the slots. Absolutely thinking ahead. I'm glad they did that. Speaking of well thought out, I think one thing they've done very well are the legs. You can extend these individually up to 6 inches. And where that matters is if you're on uneven surfaces or different things like that, you can get these things level for your projects. Another really cool thing is you can extend all 4 of them the same amount, making the total height of this from 30 inches all the way up to 36 inches. Where that lands on me, I'm right at 5'11", is mid-thigh all the way up to the waist. So there's a lot of adjustments built right into these legs, and to adjust them is very, very easy. Again, well thought out. There's levers or switches on the back. You press that lever, and then you can extend the leg, and there's positive stops along the way. It's very easy to adjust and just all around well thought out. Now, one of these will hold up to 1,800 pounds. If you put 2 together, you can divide the weight between the 2 and you can get up to 3,600 pounds, which is pretty cool. To fold these up, very simple. There's actually little levers right under where the 2x4s go. You pull those and it collapses those legs up. The only concern I have here is finger pinching. You'll have to really watch that when you're collapsing this up, just because you have so many moving parts here with the legs coming together and then also folding up inside there. Just be careful. Nice handle to carry these around. They're not overly heavy for what you're getting, especially for the capacity at 1,800 pounds. You can store these away very easily. Like, you could have an entire workbench with your plywood, your 2x4s and 2 of these, take up very minimal space and have a full-size workbench. I think that's why these are awesome. Next on the list, probably one of the coolest tools I've bought this year. This is the brand new DeWALT Grabo lifter. Now, I bought this, actually pre-ordered this a few months ago, and it only come in a few weeks ago. There was a video I did a while back. I had it hanging on the door. You may not have caught it. This tool is a serious shop upgrade, especially for some of you. This is designed to help you carry sheet goods or panels, or if you're doing tile work, or even counter work where you're having to take big slabs in and out of the houses and things like that. This thing is seriously impressive. And if you have to carry plywood by yourself at all, especially those 3/4 inch big old heavy duty sheets, you're gonna love this. First and foremost, it's pretty basic on what you're getting, and the fit and finish of this thing is top notch. I mean, it's like most other DeWALT tools. It's a really nice fit and feel. It'll accept any 20-volt max battery, so if you've already got batteries, it'll fit the small ones, it'll fit this big XR power pack battery, so it doesn't matter what you got. It couldn't be easier to use. All you have to do is set it down, turn the power switch on, and push the button.
Push the button, Max.
Pulling itself down onto the sheet good or whatever you're going to use it. Once the meter stops, you can use this to pick up things, and it just gives you a handle on things that are cumbersome and hard to pick up, like this piece of 3/4 inch plywood. Gives you a nice handhold, and now you can carry this anywhere you want with relative ease. And when you get ready to release it, you just turn the power off and push the button with the red X on it. It releases the pressure. What's pretty cool is you'll see the pressure on the screen as it ramps up, and then it starts being steady. In other words, it's got full suction on it, and then you can pick it up. It also comes with this little sun guard, I'm assuming is what that is, to help shield that screen in the sun so you can read it. I think that's a good idea. The screen is very easy to read. It does have a battery indicator on the bottom of the screen, and you'll even see the pressure ramping up on the top of the screen with those bars running across the top as it builds pressure. You also notice when you push the button to start the suction, you can see it pull itself down to the material. And I tried to knock it off of this piece of leopard wood, like shake it loose, and it just would not come loose. This thing grips like nothing you've ever seen before. There is a button on the very top of the screen that will change it from PSI to bar, depending on what pressure reading you want. I'm gonna leave mine on PSI because I didn't know it changed it till just now, and it's been on bar, and I didn't really know what that meant. It does come with some replacement parts. These 3 black rings with that white center, all of that will come out and you can replace that. I think that's some type of filter. It's where it's pulling that air through there is what I'm guessing. So those 3 white filters are replaceable as well as those O-rings. So I'm glad they included those in the box. And it also comes with this nice handy dandy tray to keep it in when not in use, to keep any dirt, debris, anything like that out from under it. I think if you're carrying plywood or if you're working around the house and you need help picking up on glass panels or tile or quartz countertops or marble countertops, any of that, like I think these would be invaluable. And I'm glad to have one here in the shop just for plywood. Next on the list is something you can see right now, but you can't see. One of the best upgrades that I ever made that I wish I had done way before are my shop lights. These are Bora LED, they're 8 foot and they come in a 10-pack. I bought these over 3 years ago and they're still shining bright. What I love about these is they're very easy to install. You can hardwire them or you can just plug them into an outlet like I have here in my garage. I've actually got 5 of these hardwired in and then I have 5 of these plugged into an outlet. The reason I did that was so I wanted to get them on 2 different circuits just because I don't think it would be good to plug all 10 into one outlet. I don't even think they recommend that. But having all 10 of these in here, I get good even light. It doesn't matter what time, day or night, I'm working in the shop, I have plenty of light to do any task that I'm gonna need to do. Speaking of light, they put out a ton of light. We're talking 15,000 lumens. Like, that's super bright. So you're not gonna have any issues with brightness or anything like that. And because you can get them in 10 packs, you can spread these out to cover your entire shop so you don't have any darker areas, and that's what I've done. I have 5 on this side and 5 on that side right there behind you, so I don't have any dim spots. And as you get older, it's kind of harder to see unless you got good lighting. These come in 2 different colors, 5000K and 6500K. I picked the 5000 because I just think it's a better lighting for the shop. 6500 is probably a little bit too warm. I like the cooler 5000K color myself. What's great about these lights is 5 of them will daisy chain together. In other words, they come with cords that plug into each other, so you do not have to worry about trying to plug each one into an outlet. Literally just plug one in and then you can just string them together and then they light up all at the same time. I actually have one set on the Amazon device, so when I walk in, I can just say shop lights off, shop lights on, and turn the lights on and off, at least half of them. Next on the list, one of the upgrades that I wish I had done a long time ago before I did it was lumber racks. If you're a woodworker, you're gonna have lumber, even if you have scrap wood or scrap pieces, these lumber racks are fantastic. I almost said lumberjacks. My wife's old alma mater high school was lumberjacks. First, these things are super easy to put up, and they're like the Bora Speedhorses. These are Bora racks too. They just make really good stuff. They're very easy to install. Literally just driving screws into a stud. Make sure you get it into a stud because you're going to be putting weight on these. And then you can load them up. I have one rack stacked full of walnut, purple heart, cherry, and some other woods that is just rock solid. It keeps everything nice and organized. It keeps everything nice and flat, which I was worried about because there's only 2 poles. I thought they would sag in the middle. They don't. Everything works nice. And then kind of my scrap wood rack is right here above me. I have several other pieces up there, little bits and pieces and different widths and things like that. Main thing is it just keeps everything nice and organized and up and out of my way. So when I do need it, I can get up there and get the lumber that I need down. But when I don't need it, I'm not tripping over it and it's just causing a mess in the shop. That's why I love these. I think they're fantastic, especially at the prices they charge for them. It's just a no-brainer. Let me know in the comments what tools you regret waiting to buy. If you like this video, check out that video right there. 10 shop upgrades I wish I'd made sooner. Click in the box to get you the big old virtual fist bump.